This is a sort of second part of a topic related to notary Bojana BABIĆ from Smederevo and multiple courts and prosecution offices who were trying to give my whole property in 2019, September 2019, to monster who monstrously murdered 3 members of my family. So this is Bojana BABIĆ. I don't know if that's her. What's the origin of this? BT legal, I don't know what that is. Wait a minute. No, that's not her email. No. No, that's not her email. So, anyways, this is LinkedIn. So, this is official website of notaries. That's her. That's her page. And nobody mentioned here that she's a notary, so I assume that's not her. But anyways, this is what I got from Google. And what I need to mention regarding that notary is that I explained what happened, a lot of details I gave within video on ombudsman, which is protector of citizens if you translate it literally. So I'm not going into details about that. I'm not going to repeat details I gave there. So I'm going only to focus on her crime report after she filed a crime report and returned the case to the court, in case of inheritance proceedings for my late father. So I'm going to explain what led to that crime report, and we'll explain communication, actually involvement of Elementary Prosecution Office of Smederevo, which was handling that case directly. The other details on the judges who were involved. So Judge DEJAN, ADAMOVIĆ, who was in charge of that inheritance proceedings, and his president of Elementary Court in Smederevo, will be covered in another video. So president is DRAGAN ROGAN of that court. I will just mention some of the emails. Some of the emails I received from that judge. So, but before that I need to mention something that I already mentioned, but it's important. So I already mentioned that in a video about ombudsman. So it's that but notary Bojana BABIĆ is involved in, is mentioned in one sort of a scandal. So if I enter this, so it says here, this is from magazine Tabloid. They are mostly dealing with crimes in Serbia, investigating so-called journalism. So it says here that somebody has, it doesn't matter who that somebody is, somebody has a CV or record, sort of a criminal record, of notary from Smederevo, which is a lover of ex-minister Zoran Đorđević. He was the Minister of Labor, and before that he was the Secretary of Ministry of Defense, and is directly involved in illegal arms trade scandal in Libya. So, what? I will show here who he is. I call him Turko Cigani. This is that moron. He is basically a male slut, extremely stupid, but he was a male slut for one of the ministers. I think that she's currently in not a minister, but governor of People's Bank of Serbia. So I want to show this part related to illegal arms trade. So here it is. So he was at some meeting. So this is this was a huge scandal. This is a transcript from that from the video by Insider. They are so-called investigative journalists. I have a video on my YouTube channel proving that they are actually main co-conspirators in cover-up of illegal arms trade related to Serbia. So yeah, this is Insider. This is the video where this moron Turko Cigani is mentioned. So again, male slut, and this psychopath Bojana BABIĆ was his lover. And if you translate this Švalerka in Serbian, this is he's mentioned somewhere here. So this is a major deal, really. This scandal. 2 people from embassy, Serbian embassy in Libya, I think, died. So he's mentioned somewhere here in this text. So I encourage everyone to look at that. I think that this video is part of my video related to my crime report on legal arms trade in Serbia. So if I search for arms, so this is the video. There are some other videos, some other related videos, and so on and so on. What's this? Okay. So, but I think that video has a reference to Insider video. Okay, so she's related somehow to that guy, that moron. And again, I started, I haven't finished this thing related to the the origin of the meaning of that term Schwalerka. It means usually the woman who is having an affair, in most of the cases, with someone who is married, with a male who is married, and basically that means a slut. Okay, so I will first start with email I received from her. So Bojana BABIĆ to me, and so again I'm focusing here on her crime report and on the elementary prosecution office in Smederevo, which was directly dealing with that crime report. Of course, during that time, other prosecution offices did nothing. They are also co-conspirators. They knew that what they are trying to steal, basically to steal my property and to give it to that monster who murdered my family, proving that they want to prove that they thought that this is the best proof that she is innocent. Okay, so this is something that I asked her in 2018, both her and the other notary. So there are two notaries in Smederevo, which is the area where my father lived and I now live. So, so I'm not interested in these. I explained what they mean in a video on Ombudsman. So I'm now focusing on 2019. So this is the date when everything started, September 10th of September. So I've informed here the notary that there cannot be inheritance proceedings, because now they are in charge of that, not the court, except in some irregular situations. And I sent her this link, which is very important. I will show right away why. So I explained why there cannot be inheritance proceedings, because there is a crime report I filed and the police forwarded to higher instance prosecution of Smederevo regarding that monster who murdered my family. So police was behind that, behind my claims, and they did that, refused to do that for several months, but forwarded that email, which is crime report, 24 hours after I reported Ministry of Interior for organized international organized crime to Interpol using Twitter, which is of course illegal, because Twitter was ignoring my emails and my phone calls. So I explained that in other videos. I won't go into details. So I explained that to her here, that it's something which is called unworthiness to inherit. It is according to the law on inheritance. So she answered here and tried to make a fool of me, and giving some rubbish excuses, invoking some laws that doesn't have anything to do with that. And this is the most outrageous part. She asked me to file a request to determine unworthiness to inherit, which is done according to the law of inheritance. It's Article 4. I explained that in a video about Ombudsman. So Article 4, last paragraph, it says that judges, acting judges are doing this, so they investigate they must investigate unworthiness to inherit by the definition of their job, which means ex officio. So there is no any sort of request to do that, any sort of request for ex officio, and this is why I stated in next email that she knows nothing about the law, because she was trying to make a fool of me here. And after that, I think that she didn't answer. So this is these are the dates of those emails when those emails are exchanged. And after that, she didn't answer. Of course, prosecution of appeals in Belgrade knew about that. They did nothing. I wrote them, prosecution to Republic Prosecution Office and Office of Appeals, so highest instances. They did nothing. I explained that in another video, so I'm not going into details here. And all those videos up to 16th of June 2021 are here in respected folders in the form of screenshots of the of emails page by page. This can be seen here, and so on and so on. So at this time the name of the folder was final, but later I changed it to final 2. So basically final 2 is the last version. I don't remember why I did that, but anyways. So again, this Prosecution Office of Appeals and so on and so on. Then I wrote again. This is that part of the law on inheritance, which says which explains that unworthiness of Article 4, unworthiness to inherit, but of course she never answered. And again to Republic and Office of Appeals, Prosecution Office of Appeals, they did nothing. Then Ombudsman, the rest is explained in the video of Ombudsman. So this was the mail, that second mail, this mail that initiated her crime report against me, which was really rubbish. So one more time, is this the only thread I mentioned her? Yeah, so this is from mails she sent, and if I check the other way, oh no, the other way around, yeah, there is this one. It appears that she's here. Yeah, she's here. That was in 2019. Yeah. So I forwarded this to Higher Instance Prosecution of Smederevo, so they are also involved. And I sent this to that prosecution office and forwarded that to her. September 20th of September. They just confirmed the email, and Prosecution Office of Appeals and so on. So these are only these two are the only email threads that I had communication with notary. And I will now move to the crime report she filed against me and my counter crime report. But before that, I need to show emails I received and I sent to prosecution, elementary prosecution of Smederevo, which was directly dealing with that case, with that crime report she filed against me. There is one another prosecution office dealing with that, and actually a unit for anti-corruption of higher instance prosecution of Belgrade. But I will create a separate video on that. I might mention only mention that decision they sent me. So these are emails I received from elementary prosecution of the of Smederevo. They notified me that notary, because nobody notified me. They needed to notify me by ex officio, by the definition of their job, but they haven't. So they notified me that monster filed crime report against me. This is the number of the case, and so on and so on. Afterwards, they explained how I can get this. I need to pay some money and so on and so on, how I can get the case. But to this day, I didn't get the case, of course. It goes for all the other state institutions, prosecution offices, courts, and so on and so on. I explained why this is happening in other videos, so I'm not going into details. But for now, let's see what is the date here. Today, 7th of July 2023. So I still haven't received a single case related to me by any means. So this was everything I received from them. Afterwards, I think there are only confirmation they received my emails. So only confirmation they received emails again. So they were basically ignoring me. I mean, not basically, but they were ignoring me, brutally ignoring me. Again, confirmation that they received the email. So there is also another email, actually video, which explains when they dismissed all the charges against me, and this happened when I notified them, maybe not directly, so notified them or other prosecution offices that I'm a witness of international organized crime by 2 counts. Maybe during that time I was only on 1 count, but now I'm on 2 counts because Interpol is involved in cover-up of monstrous murders of my family, and I also reported Serbian military for illegal arms trade to United States Department of Justice, and they threatened me. So military threatened me. So I'm witness of international organized crime by 2 counts. So after that, so again there is a video on that. After I explained that to them, they gave up, dismissed all the charges because they wanted to, after this failed attempt to give all my property to that monster who murdered my family, and they gave up. I don't know if I mentioned that when I contacted United States Embassy in Belgrade. I explained why they're behind this, because behind cover-up of monstrous murders of my family. And at that same time, which was 19th of September 2019. So it says here that I contacted. This is, I think, FBI office in Washington. I reminded them that they are involved deeply in Jeffrey Epstein scandal. They don't need another scandal with monstrous murders of my family. So, and they gave up, but they planned to blackmail me with that crime report filed by notary. Because notaries has the same status as police, judges, and so on and so on. So I will probably get like 10 years in prison for because she accused me about a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff there in her crime report. So they kept it on ice and dismissed when I dismissed everything against me when I stated that I'm a witness of international organized crime. So they gave up that plan on blackmailing me. Of course, I still don't have any written trace on who was behind that blackmail. For now, I know only 2 names which were given to me by phone when I phoned that elementary prosecution office, and those names are Alexander Goli. He's still there as a deputy prosecutor. The one was assistant Maya Ilic, she's now in Požarevac in elementary prosecution office. And she is not assistant anymore, but promoted to deputy prosecutor. So again, this is something that I got from the conversation I had with staff of document office of that prosecution office. So I don't know if that's true because I don't have any written trace about that. So these were emails I received from them, and the emails I sent them, I think I had like 3 to 4 emails. After that they didn't answer. So of course I'm not going to cover email where I stated I'm a witness of international organized crime because I did that in a separate video. So so this is directly sent to them. Or maybe not. Yeah, because they're first in the list. Yeah. If you don't dismiss this, the crime report, I will report you to highest instance of prosecution of Serbia, and so on and so on. Then I wrote to secretary of elementary prosecution office in Smederevo. So explained why crime report of Bojana BABIĆ is rubbish. Because first she said that I was endangering her safety. I still don't know how she looks like. That I was stalking her. I also don't know how she looks like. That I recorded illegal. That I had illegally recorded her phone calls, which is also rubbish, and so on and so on. And this thing with the request, when I with the request for doing ex officio, I said she doesn't know what she's talking about, knows nothing about the law. She said that this is she considered that an insult. I mean, it's not an insult. Yeah, there is one more outrageous part of her crime report. She stated that I endangered her safety because I promised she will lose license for her job. I mean, amazing, really. So again, yeah, I sent them the new directory, final tool, which can be accessed from two videos from my channel, and I will give only one video. So this one. So this is the monstrous murders of my family. So this is the same folder, obviously. So I wrote to them, give details on this monster, how she's still stealing from my property and so on and so on. Then again I wrote, so these are this is when they gave up that fraud, but I still wrote to them to fix the issue with that crime report. I want to dismiss everything. So I gave a lot of details. On the current state of the case, and so on and so on. This was some more statements, sorry, and facts. They did nothing. And I think this is the last email. And they still haven't responded regarding my request for people who are handling that case, and so on and so on. And after that, I think I never wrote to them directly. I just forwarded the yeah, this is to chief prosecutor of the prosecution of appeals of Belgrade. Just forwarded that. This is the judge who was in charge of inheritance proceedings on my father. For my father, she answered here on 24th of September. She confirmed. I explained all the details in the video of the related to ombudsman. So I'm not going into details here why I needed written confirmation that inheritance proceedings related to that notary are cancelled. So this is that judge, DEJAN ADAMOVIĆ, and this is official document that notary is not in on that case anymore. So even after she confirmed a brief details, although I already explained that in the video about ombudsman. So even when she confirmed everything is cancelled, a day before there should be a day before the inheritance proceedings are planned to be held, she still tried to fake everything, because that monster who murdered my family called my brother 10 minutes before everything should have started. So I was there and recorded that monster was not in the office. So again, now I'm not going into details because I explained everything in another video on ombudsman. So this is something else, and so on and so on. So I'm not going into details about that. And I already explained when screenshots of these emails are. So let's see if there is something more. So now I just after these 5 emails, 5 or 6, I never contacted them again, maybe only regarding that witness international against crime. So that's something else, some other this is another video. So I'm now going, when I showed all the emails we exchanged, I'm now going to mails, to documents I received using regular mail, by regular mail. So again, they are in file 2 and in the folder called VSS, which is short for High Council of Judiciary. So this is the one, and there are a lot of folders here. I will try to open all that are related to this matter. So this is important. So this is this is the part of their blackmail with the notary's crime report that I mentioned, and they called me using police officers, so police department of Novi Sad. I don't know how this can be translated. Police station, wow. So police station Stari Grad, which means old town, old city. So this is when they tried to blackmail me. This was around the time when I was trying to overturn the decision by the judge, where she, so on criminal, on inheritance proceedings, because he committed a major frauds. I stated here, this is my statement from the police. I gave in the police, and it's basically everything I said already regarding the matter, that I stated that I don't know her, that everything is all. So this is my signature, and this is the guy who was in charge, police officer Šestović Rodoljub. This is Šestović. This is a name, a surname that people from Montenegro have. So this can be considered as intimidation, because police knew that this is all illegal, and what they needed to do is to actually file a crime report against the prosecutor or deputy prosecutor who asked for my statement. I still don't know who asked that statement. Nobody wants to tell me, because of course they did something illegal. So another thing that's important, let's see, yeah, so this is the crime report of the notary. Let's see, the date should be something like 13th, yeah, 13th of September. So day after she answered on 12th of September. So this is the timeline. So this is DA crime report. It says here crime report against me. She now suddenly knows who is my father. She was pretending. So basically what she tried to do during that inheritance proceedings, she tried to call only that monster and not to call my brother and me, because monster was instructed to file a request for inheritance proceedings, but only to add her as someone who will inherit. And she explains what happened here, blah blah blah, where I live, and so on and so on. Then in the other part she gave that link So she gave that link to final directory, and she said there are a lot of documents there. Basically that's everything I put there is rubbish, without any explanation why. So she needed to explain according to the law why this is rubbish. Although there are documents there, as I showed, related to Interpol. Okay, I need to open another. I need to show this. So I proved that she had access to this link to this folder, and this folder had, I already explained that in a separate video, but I need to explain it again. So that folder had folder Interpol, which contains proof that Interpol is involved in cover-up of monstrous murders of my family. This is that report that I mentioned, report using Twitter. So she basically ignored that, and she then described our communication, email communication exchange. Is this the same? So WDT. Yeah, it's the same. It's address of final. So she went on and she also stated here something from email where I promised that, and this is what will happen, that notaries will won't exist anymore. They will cease to exist because this is what happened in Slovenia. I proved that they are illegal organization. This was the case of I tried to buy some property, and they proved that they're actually not doing anything they are supposed to do. That the whole thing is a fraud. So they're illegal organization. Again, she's stating what I wrote in the what I stated in that email. So I said that everything is recorded, the conversation is recorded, meaning that all the state institutions, all conversation with state institutions are recorded by default, and I also had the right to record it because I was acting as state prosecutor according to the law, because prosecutors were ignoring me. I explained details in other videos. I have another a single video on that, special on that, on acting as prosecutor in my YouTube channel. Yeah, I said she doesn't understand the essence of law on inheritance. And so she says that I endangered her life, her dignity, and I need to see this. Let me check out. So, reputation and reputation and dignity. Okay. That I also was stalking her. That I refused, this is the most interesting part, that I refused to give my address. Of course I refused because she had my address in that G drive, which I'm about to show now. So I caused the intense feeling of okay. Agitation, right?
Agitation.
Agitation. Because she doesn't know who I am, where I'm living. Okay. Where I'm writing from. These are all lies, not a single data about me, but still before that I contacted like tens of state institutions, including highest instances of prosecution. So this is pure or utter rubbish, whatever, people. Okay, so these are this is the list what I did allegedly. So she said I threatened that I will attack her. Never did that. That I prevent her to work, blah 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 blah. Illegal phone recording. And finally, of course, the insult. Some rubbish. And she has that they act she asked the prosecution in charge to act in order to prevent me from actually to act and to investigate everything, blah blah blah. So the only thing I want to show now is that part related to my address. So the date was, as I showed, 13th of September. So if I go to okay, I need to go to final just to be consistent. So if I go first to directory related to higher instance prosecution, which is here, higher instance prosecution is Smederevo. For some reason it starts from 22. There should be okay, it's not here. I cannot find it for some reason. There was a document, I don't know why 21 picture is missing. So something is missing here, but I am going to go here. Just a second. So September 10th of September, this is when it's modified. So this is the folder related to Police Department of Smederevo, Serbia, and it says here, this is me, this is my ID number, and this is my street, the street where I live, where I lived in Novi Sad, Narodnog Fronta 27, and so on and so on. So she had everything. I mean, this is from the police. What's the right word in English? Call. Well, not call. They didn't call me. It's sort of subpoena. Well, actually, not subpoena. Subpoena is... Well, this is related to the court. I thought that subpoena is also related to the prosecution, but anyways. So she had that right away. There are a lot of other places where she had that, but I think that this one is enough. So she had that, and her job was to check all these documents, or to explain, at least to give at least one example why she, or to invoke the law, why she does not need to examine all those documents. And again, these documents contain Interpol folder. So everything she stated is rubbish, and again, there is a separate video where I gave proof that I informed prosecution officers that I'm a victim of international organized crime and that they cannot blackmail me. So basically that would be it. So the only thing that's left is DA decision to drop all the charges against me. So again, VSS folder. Let's see. Okay, that was her crime report that I explained. This is the decision that everything, all the charges are dropped against me. And I just want to see if there is something. Yeah, there is. But this is a separate video. I just want to check out the date. So this is the decision on my counter crime report against notary Bojana BABIĆ by none other than a special unit for fighting corruption of higher instance prosecution of Belgrade. By the way, that prosecution is involved. They were investigating all the scandals, all the biggest scandal in Serbia, such as I think that one with yeah, that's their responsibility. So this is a huge scandal. Two young men, army guards. This is the kind of army guard, the ones that are the ones that you notice when some politician is visiting Serbia. So they are right next to the plane when some important person is visiting Serbia. They are sort of a, I don't know, sort of tradition. So they were brutally murdered, and to this day nobody knows what happened. Headquarters of Serbian army did their best to cover up everything. So the another case is crash of military chopper where baby died. This is yeah, this is another scandal. They are also involved, higher instance prosecution of Belgrade, and also in Jovanjica, so drug smuggling big time. Here it is. And now I mentioned that in another video, but I need to mention that again. So I finally managed to, so just to finish up this, but I will continue it. So 23rd of January 2020, this is when they dropped my crime report against Bojana BABIĆ, counter crime report against notary. So I'm going to create a separate video on this because it deserves a separate video. But let's go back to the higher instance prosecution of Belgrade. So I finally managed to involve them in the war crimes committed with illegal arms trade manufactured in Serbia, and also automatically, of course, to illegal arms trade. So they are now involved in all biggest scandal related to Serbia. All of them are international, by the way, all of them. So these are two videos where I explained how I involved them. So I'm not going to explain that here. So they are now in big trouble. I hope they understand that. And the last thing I need to show is the decision that all the charges are dropped against me. This is the envelope I received. First, the second page. Oops. So this is the first page. And this is elementary prosecution of Smederevo. This is the date, 29th of October 2020. So they explain here what happened, blah blah blah. This is the part about crime report of BABIĆ. I think this is about some emails I sent, so on, so on, and so on and so on. Some laws invoked. This is about that statement I gave in the police station in the Novi Sad, but they didn't provide information who asked for that. And the second part. So it says here there's no reason for investigating me and starting the process against me, because in everything I did there are no elements of crime activity. Nor any other crime activity which is done ex officio, so by the definition of the job of state prosecutors. So she can of course file a civil suit, but she of course haven't done that. And also it says here that there were a lot of time passed, of course, because they covered everything up. And again, they invoke here, they mentioned here that they didn't know where I live, which is a lie. I already proved that this prosecution office had that. They had both linked to folders final 2. And they called my crime report the DA complaint against that monster. Well, actually, this is against acting deputy prosecutor in the case related to that crime report of BABIĆ. So they stated there was a lot of time passed, yeah, because they covered everything up. And they called my report. I still don't know who was handling the case. as I said, I just know some names from my from phone calls I had with this with officers of that prosecution, but no written trace of anything. So they call that my crime report on their brutal cover-up and postponing everything. They call it DA complaint. Again, they are doing all the time this thing, and that everything I filed against people who are in charge of that case it doesn't have any basis. So the last thing, which is really suspicious, is that in this case DA probably because of this crime report against her deputy prosecutor. So this is not a deputy prosecutor but chief prosecutor, Dragana Popović. She's now, which is also strange, she's now deputy prosecutor. She's not a chief prosecutor anymore. And this is how the whole thing with the crime report with Bojana Babić ended. So it ended very sad. Of course, this is not the end, because she will need to pay me a lot of money for what she did. She was intimidating me. This was false crime reporting, which is a major deal. And if I add to all of that I'm a witness of international organized crime, she's in a serious trouble. And if she hopes that her lover will save her, that's also out of question, because Serbian government at this time is in deep trouble, is in deep crisis. So I hope that she will receive this and take this seriously, and at least suggest to pay me for the damages, because this is the only way that she can avoid losing everything she has. Not just going to jail, and losing her license, but losing all the properties she has. Okay, so this was another one more example how the prosecution offices and other state institutions were brutally breaking the law. So I guess that would be it.